Sweet, sweet revenge. So for starters, this is from about 2 years ago now. I used to work at very well-known pizza chain restaurant. If Scooby-Doo could say it, it would called Romino's. I first started out there as just a cashier and would just do the normal stuff, running the register and placing orders. I eventually learned how to make the pizzas. Over time, the store manager wanted to promote me to shift runner. For those who don't know what that is, it's a step below assistant manager. So when I promoted, it'd be in charge of running the shift and delegate roles for the shift and tell employees when they could leave. Anyways, getting off topic, while I was working there was a guy who started there that had worked there before. When he was there before, he was an assistant manager. He left one day during a busy evening when the store was slammed with orders and customers. He apparently got too stressed out and couldn't handle it anymore. So 2 years later he comes back, but now as a delivery driver. When he first started for the second time, I didn't know who he was and I had never met him before that. He seemed nice, but first after a few days he kept trying to be the person in charge. I had to put him in his place a few times when I was running the shift. Now I wasn't on the best of terms with the store manager. We had a few blowouts here and there, mostly from him breathing down my neck when we were really busy. I snapped at him and told him to back off and let me do my damn job. So when I went to him to tell him about the delivery driver, we'll call him Brad, was trying to act as a manager, he didn't seem to really care. Alright, whatever. I was talking to the one assistant manager that I was friends with. We'll call him Chad. I had told him the deal and he told me to just tell him off. The next shift I worked with Brad, he again tried acting as the manager. I told him he isn't an assistant manager anymore and he's driver and needs to stop as I'm the one that's in charge of the shift. He huffed and walked away from me. Everything was fine for a while. Well, one day I was sitting in the office taking care of a few things on the computer, and in comes Brad. He starts talking to me about an order and just messing around with me. As I'm finishing up on the computer, he kneels down making it look like he's picking something up off the floor so I don't pay him any mind. Next thing I know, he's jabbing a finger into my breast. I froze, unsure of what to do. A million things rang through my mind in a split second. Now before I continue on, I should note, this isn't the first time to happen to me in my life. When I was in high school, a guy thought it would be funny, cool to grab my breast as hard as he could. One day we were on the bus. In the end, I beat the living hell out of him. It took a few people to keep from doing some real damage. He then got expelled from the school. A year or two later I had moved and a similar situation happened on the bus again. This time I didn't get a chance to do anything because the school bus pulled up to his stop and he ran off the bus. Got him suspended from school and his parents apologized to me along with making him apologize as well. There's some other issues, but you get the point. So anyway, he jabbed my breast hard and I froze. All those times I had that happen to me flashed through my mind. I got up and I went out back, slamming the door hard. I was pacing back and forth for a few minutes. I didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to think. I was shaking from being utterly pissed off and from a feeling I couldn't recognize. Now this is the kicker. He comes out acting like nothing happened and telling me how I need to keep the back door locked, because that's how the place got robbed before, 4 years ago, by the old store manager's son. Well, the conversation went a little like this. Me, I don't give a fuck. Leave me the fuck alone and go the fuck back inside. Brad, don't yell at me and curse at me. Me, dude, you really do not want to fuck with me right now. Go the fuck back inside now. I am not going to fucking say it again. Brad, and what are you going to do if I don't? So before I can say another word, Chad comes out because he hears me yelling at Brad. When he sees how red my face is, he gets Brad back inside and then comes to check on me. At this point I'm sitting in my car crying and shaking because I was so mad and so upset. I explained to him what happened. I lived with my mom at the time and he told me to call her. So I did. I told her what happened and she told me to call the store manager and tell him that something needs to be done about Brad. So I called the store manager and this is the conversation. Me: "Hey, so I wanted to let you know that Brad was very inappropriate and sexually assaulted me. Blah blah blah, you know the story." Store manager: "Oh my god, you guys seriously act like children. You all need to grow up." Me: "What? Are you being serious right now? I need to grow up. Dude, one of your male employees assaulted me." Store manager: "Whatever, I'll take care of it. Bye." So when he said he would take care of it, he meant, I'm gonna smack him on the hand and tell him that's not nice and send him home for the night. Okay, fine. I take it a step further and call the district manager. He doesn't answer, so I left a voicemail telling him that I needed to discuss something with him in regards to Brad and that if I didn't receive a phone call back, I was going to press charges on Brad. Never got a call back. So I take it another step further. I decide to file a police report. Got my statement written up and had a court date set. Now mind you, the day he got arrested we were all working. Myself, Chad, Brad, and store manager, plus a bunch of others. When the cop that I had given my statement to came in and arrested him, the look on Brad's face was amazing and the look on store manager's face was priceless too. Store manager kept asking the cop why he was arresting Brad and the cop said that he wasn't at liberty to tell him and that if Brad would like to say then he could tell him. Well, B was released a couple hours later and turns out the district manager bailed him out. I was livid. So Brad came back to the store and told store manager what happened and why he was arrested. Well, I got sent home early because of the issue. I was told neither Brad nor myself would be allowed to return to work until after the issue was resolved in court. Well, my mom worked next door. And guess who she seen back at work the next day having a jolly OL time with store manager and district manager. You guessed it. Brad was back at work already. I call up the district manager and ask why Brad is allowed back but I'm not. He spews a bunch of BS about how I have a toxic relationship with store manager and that's why I'm not allowed back, and then offers me to work at a store over an hour away from me. Not guaranteed the same position and pay. I told him to shove the job up his ass and to fuck off with that bullshit and hung up on him. Court day comes. I show up and head over to my lawyer and my support lady that was there. The hearing gets underway and the verdict: not guilty. Great. If only I had gotten this guy who he'll call Zach to come. Not his real name for privacy reasons. Remember how I said Brad used to work there a few years ago? Well, that's when Zach was there. Zach was 16 then and Brad was 32. He told Zach to get down on his knees and to suck daddy's balls. If Zach had come to the hearing, I could have gotten a guilty verdict. But because I had no proof of what he did, he got off free. Well, this is where my revenge takes place. My entire family found about what happened and I legally couldn't take it to social media for legal purposes. But nothing ever said my family couldn't. Little did Brad, store manager, and district manager know, my family had a lot of connections and ties in the community. Within a day everyone in the town and in surrounding towns too found out what had happened. Well, needless to say, they lost a lot of business. Ramino's fired district manager, store manager, and Brad. They are never allowed to work or come into any of the stores ever again. On top of that, somehow in the midst of things, someone in town found out that the DM was cheating on his wife and told her. She divorced him and got everything. Everything could have been fine had DM called me back or even just sided with me. But no, P wanted to side with a pedophile predator. In the end, I still came out on top. TL. Doctor. Employee sexually assaults me. District manager and store manager protect him. Store gets boycotted. Store loses sales. Higher-ups find out what happened. The three of them get fired and blacklisted from all stores. District manager's wife, in the midst of everything, gets told by a local boycotter that he's been cheating on her. She divorces him and gets everything. There is no way it would have gotten to court if it was just your word against his. This story is suspicious. Also, why did you need a lawyer for a criminal case against someone else? Pro-revenge? No. This is more burning in nuclear fire. Art nuclear revenge. Or Star Destroyer. Art supernova revenge. Two big wigs, a company and some skeezy delivery driver absolutely wrecked, could have sued in court for lost wages, emotional damages, punitive damages. Easy win for you, and a chunk-tastic savings account too. If Scooby-Doo could say it, it would called Raminos. Darn it. Wish I was clever enough to figure these things out. Sucks to be them, I guess. Why would you root for a sexual assaulter for? They deserved it, and I hope that you're doing well. Wonderful to see something like this work out. This happens so often in the workplace. It's covered up by HR, and the victims are fired. The cycle never ends. Without your family connections, this would have been the same case I've seen hundreds of times. Kill the bee. Sound like some more malicious compliance petty revenge than pro. You followed the proper channels and got burned. Your family posted about the accident on social media. Not you. The part that has me doubting that T ever happened is the last part, where you brag and boast about your family's influence and connection in the community. Couldn't your family use this influence on the court judge? This story sounds fake. What if the cops came in to arrest the offender? It's highly doubtful a judge wouldn't want a full investigation done. And having connections in the community to the point of a large conglomerate firing 3 people and barring them sounds beyond laughable. If it was real, the court case would have been done. Why is that? Brad's working at pizza places are scumbags. My store had to get rid of one for sexual harassment too. Damn it. If this happened in the UK, I'd have taken them to tribunal for sex discrimination and constructive dismissal. Could have gotten a nice little payout, haha.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.